Hello everyone, my name is Mitz. Here we're back with Fake Right Conflict of Interest. So we're now going to Evil Tricky's testimony about how she, very eloquently might say, how she killed Miss Porter in her own office a few days ago. And it definitely was her. Don't mistake it. It's obviously her. Don't ever think anything else against her. She's definitely telling the truth. I killed Miss Porter. End of testimony. Oh my god. That's it? Okay, I was making a joke. How the hell did I not remember that from seeing this through first time? I'm sorry, was that too much? Yes, give me like a few more words. I try to make it easy enough for you to understand fully. You didn't seem to understand fully. But you didn't say anything we haven't already heard. Maybe that's all you need to hear. Information is precious. I don't give it out freely. I will tell you what you need to know, when you need to hear it. She's so full of herself. Well, guess what? We're all full of ourselves in some point way or another. Like me. I'm not revealing my full deck, and I don't like poker. She's gonna confess. She should tell us what she knows. I'll have to drag the details out of her. That's the only way we'll get anything meaningful from this. What you need to know, when you need to hear it. She's been eager to talk about the murder until now. Yeah, but that's when there's actually people who are important to the whole judicial legal system is at play. When it's just one-on-one with us in the privacy of her jail cell at home, away from home, then it doesn't matter. Just press, and I'm sure I can get the information I need. Press it 10 times and then she'll crack, like a walnut. Obviously. I mean, look at that pose. She's ready to just, let's technically press her once she spills everything. Yes, that's right. She expresses everything in crucial detail for hours and hours on end. Maybe for next book report for school. I killed Miss Porter. Oh, really? Can you please tell us how? Straight to the point. You're not giving me much to work with. Do you want me to? Your convenience was not what I had in mind. I'm the obvious culprit, aren't I? There isn't anyone else at the moment. Exactly. You have my word, but more importantly, you have evidence. Evidence? Nobody would believe me without it. At least nobody should believe me. Luckily for you, you have proof I killed her. Why don't you show it to everybody, Mr. Wright? Show them the proof you're so lucky to have. Let's see. We do have one thing connecting her to the crime scene. Why is she telling me to present that? She isn't telling us a ton, is she? Did we literally just present the knife that she was holding, even though we literally saw her holding it at her house? Well, Tracy did anyway. A face-off against the Trucy and the evil Trucies. Truceception battles. She must want to direct the conversation a certain way. If she only says one thing, she knows what my response will be. And then she knows how to respond to that. Yes, pure conversational tactics. Where she's leading us. I'd like to know. Now that I like to know. Well, here's the thing. If you want to make sure to get people off surprise and all that, just ask them mundane questions like, okay, Jane Hood, do you happen to like gummy bears? Do you like the reds, the oranges, or the grays? If you say gray, I hate you. So we literally just have to present the knife then? Like, my first thought for a contradiction was, like, reading through all this again. Porter's office. Miss Porter's office was broken in through the window. There are no fingerprints, and the killer wasn't wearing gloves, so just... I think I remember Detective Gumshoe mentioning before, like, there was just, like, hand oil, like, residue on the window itself, but no fingerprints. It's almost similar to, like, same thing as, Yanni Yogi, who just had his fingerprints burned off. Well, we might as well just present that knife, then. Hey, don't you like this knife? It's part of your designer collection, right, Jane? Wowee, this is not a contradiction, we're just showing things off. Is this the knife that you're pointing at? Well, she's mostly just, pointing up into the ceiling with her hands. As usual. Yes, I am. Well, now she's pointing nowhere else, so. What was it the old man said? Her blood is on the blade. Her blood and my prince. It's like a match made in heaven. Do you want to go to heaven? She never stood a chance. Okay. The defense is aiming to prove that a witness killed Miss Porter. Yet I fail to see the relevance this has for the other two murders. When we ended yesterday, this girl was a potential suspect. If she killed Miss Porter, that cements it. So then you do believe she did it? I can't rule anything out. You're basically just like presenting the knife to say like, oh yes, it definitely is you, but then you're saying like, maybe not. That's literally just how you're saying this. Something doesn't add up. Nothing she's told us links back to Jameson or Black. That's the real problem. I noticed that too. Yes, because she hasn't even mentioned them before. I'm pretty sure. Miss, you say you stabbed her with a knife, but we have no other particulars. Does this have anything to do with either of the other two deaths? I couldn't say. All these people dying. It gets so hard to keep track. Do you really want me to muddle everything more than it already is? No, thank you. Please just answer clearly in all questions the fence has for you. The fence? Now that the knife business is out of there, I might as well open up some more. Please don't open up your chest. Just don't. Please, Phoenix, you have the knife on hand, just keep it away from her. My first statement stays the same. I killed Miss Porter, and I used that knife. The knife with her blood all over it. You know the one. Oh, so this different knife, I see. Yes. Mr. Wright, please continue. Why'd you care so much about you pointing out the knife? Why do the hoods do anything? Sometimes I think it's just to mess with us. I wouldn't put it past either of them. But Jane has some other motive. She wouldn't let us progress until the knife got mentioned. Even though it looks bad for her. Some things I just don't understand. It's one of those things where, like, you know, you pushed out onto someone, and then when they get proven out, that means they're written off entirely then. I would so love to see, like, a murder case where instead of, like, the first culprit, like, well, I guess the first suspected person, like, is truly, like, not a red herring, but the first suspected culprit is actually the true culprit, but based on some evidence, they're cleared, like, you know, to be innocent, but not for the reasons you think. Like, they're innocent for this thing, but they're guilty for this thing, if you know what I mean. I'd love to see that plot twist. You and me both. I killed Miss Porter. Oh, did you? Wait, there's nothing else? She must want to direct the conversation a certain way. I thought she would add, like, a new statement. Use that same knife, use her, like, is there a new statement when you press it then? There are some things I think you should expand on. You think you can make demands of me? I mean, yeah, we asked for your name and profession, and you said that already, so, we already made our first demand, so, least you could do is make another one. Arrogant fool. You're lucky I'm feeling generous. Ask your questions, worm. All my answers will lead to the same result. There is one thing I've been wondering about. Where, when, why, or who? Where, when? I think she probably, for the why, should just, like, say, I love bloodlust, and all that. Nothing else, nothing more. Who, she already basically just said, Gladys Porter, so those two are the way. Where and when? Her off. Did we even, like, that's something to think about. Did we ever say she died in her office? Where'd you kill Miss Porter? Shouldn't that be obvious? Even the simpletons to yourself should know it. I killed her in her office in the magazine building. The magazine building? You don't know the name of the place? I can't bother with the trivialities. There are more important things for me to focus on. It was her office. Is that not enough? We can let it pass. For now. To me, at least, the location of the murder is the least concerning thing about it. She seems like has a ton, is she? Okay, to loose around. Probably one of those things she'll crack down on something. She doesn't know a lot of what happened, but she's definitely trying to paint herself as one, just to be sure. Just to make everyone doubt and, like, you know, think about things through, then clear entirely. Make demands. So, when? When did you kill Miss Porter? At around midday yesterday. Is there a more specific time? I can't recall. I don't normally carry a watch or phone. I have no need for them. Well, I mean, it's time for you to get a watch then, huh? I'll make that joke every time, even if it's not pertinent. Besides, a proper murder can be done at any time. The time is unimportant. I'd say it's very important if you want to have an alibi. Well, I don't. I like an alibi. That's why I'm here, isn't it? The police wouldn't arrest me if they already knew I was somewhere else. Oh, wait. Oh, it's my friend in the mall. Should I have said that instead? It might help you more. But it would be a lie. Lying's bad. And murder isn't? Lying is the capital offense here. If you lie, then you go to jail. If you do murder, you go to prison. She didn't tell me at the time. Okay, So one of these definitely we're going to crack down on more then. Just think about the I don't think why is gonna work, or maybe, who? Why did you kill Miss Porter? Why? The one was bothersome. Is that not enough? No. How did she bother you? Who cares why? Who cares? I said she bothered me. I confessed to killing her. I prints her the knife. But why did she bother me? Please. You're not asking the right questions. Try again, Mr. Wright. Ask a better question with a better answer, and then maybe why will actually mean anything. She's been telling us a ton. Gosh. Again, she's great. Oh my god, she's great. God. So maybe like when it's I guess it's something if we're gonna find anything similar, then she's gonna bring up something about Gladys Porter is like a magazine writer, but like she doesn't know about the building itself's name. So about the victim, tell me exactly who you killed. Are you some kind of idiot? It was Gladys Porter. Okay, I have her name, but who was she? She was a writer for some magazine or other. Have you not been paying attention to the trial at all? I have, and it looks like you have too. Now tell me, who was Gladys Porter? What was her personality? What were life goals? What color was her hair? What is the point of this? I hope you are leading somewhere. Just bear with me, prosecutor. I'd like for the witness to answer my questions. Or you know what? Just one. How about just one? Witness, please respond. I'm sorry, it all seems to have slipped my mind. You don't know the first thing about Miss Porter, do you? You say you killed her, but you can't tell us any more beyond her name and job. Maybe you're right. I think you're right, Mr. Wright. He knows how to ask the right questions, it seems. So what do we have to do here, then? Some things you can expand upon. So then, like, we're supposed to figure something out here, and then, like, some point or other, like, try to pinpoint a contradiction here, even though... Yeah. Some notes in the story surrounding M6. What would even work here, then? Because it doesn't seem like from the pace of it we're gonna use this. Like, that really just conclusively proves it's not, you know, it's Jane, but, like, Must be someone who doesn't have fingerprints at all. Which I'm pretty sure it's a very specific set of criteria for a killer or a person to have in this day and age. So, but like she was very, very vague on everything. Only said that it was at a magazine building. When it was our midday yesterday. Porter's autopsy. Specimen was killed between 3 and 4 on October 7th. Yeah. Wait, yesterday? Hold on a second. When again? Became Miss Porter. It was around midday yesterday. More specific time. God, I can't remember what day it is today, but it wasn't 2 days ago, actually. Maybe it's actually presenting the autopsy report then. Because, like, all of that, but just because, like, this is very, you know, a very tensile moment, okay? Present. Autopsy report was, like, I think it was 2 days ago because, what was it? Like, the first day of the trial, like, she went into detention center and then, like, she got bail. Then, like, apparently she died that same day, actually. But her body was only discovered the next day, actually. That doesn't work? I mean, that's literally true, though. We're supposed to keep pressing and pressing things to present something specific. I didn't mean to do that. What, didn't mean to do this? Dang it. Yeah, loading times. So, what will be then? There's something that we should expand upon. Trying to think, okay. If, like, we can't present exactly when, like, the body was found, like, I guess, like, another thing she said, like, she didn't really care about the time, but she did make a specific point that she killed Gladys Porter yesterday at this time, yet besides it was, like, she died 2 days ago. That's obviously something wrong, but we can't present that, so why? Just completely just, boring. Oh, do we have to present who again or something? Because, like, she didn't, like, she decided not to go over the questions. So she wants us to respond a specific way, even though we can literally just point out something that's not part of her plan though. So the whole point of the goal is to like present things that like go around with her conversation, or her conversational stuff. Okay, why'd you kill Miss Porter? Why the one was bothersome is not enough? Why she bothered? Who cares? Why? I care why. You can't give us a oh wow, skip. You can't give us a single detail on Miss Porter or what she was like. Okay, so presenting things. Okay, then go to why then again. And somehow she bothered you enough for you to murder her? No, Jane. Why did you do it? Okay. Next to the question. Well, witness. Yes, I agree it was. Well, the truth is, everybody, I'm not the one she bothered. So was it a hit job? Perhaps. Maybe. I think the defense might have a clue to what it means. Do I? I think I do. See where Jane is trying to lead the discussion. Looks like you're right for once. This is evidence related to your alleged hit job. Evidence related to a hit job? Well... I mean, what was it? Well, hold on a second, where's that? Well, that's not... Alleged hit job, wait, like the killer's card? I mean, it was found in her house. It was also the crime scene. And Finnegan Hood did mention that, like, someone did a hit job on Jane's, you know, dad, so... Are you talking about this? You wanted me to show the court two pieces of evidence. First was the knife, the murder weapon. Second, I'm guessing, was one of the killer's calling cards. It's that card again, but I thought we established it was irrelevant. The witness apparently doesn't think so. Do you, Miss Hood? Well, the card was found in my house. I had to get it with a knife. So, you tell me, how can you say it is irrelevant anymore? You or your father placed a killer's card in the crime scene to confuse the investigation. Witness, you are the sole connection to this case that has to Sully the killer. Am I? Well, how can I possibly argue with that? I guess he's right. I put the first card by the grave to confuse people. And I put the second card, wanted in Marquette to confuse people. So I must have done it all to make people think that the killer was to blame. Of course, so silly me. I hadn't realized he left America long ago. So I guess that it all just points to me. Are you saying you planned for us to find the knife? Is that what it sounds like? That sounds stupid. Why would I do a stupid thing like that? Does sound really dumb. Unless she's not really the killer. The whole thing seemed wonky up until now, but she has to be making it up. Mr. Hood said he wanted to protect Jane with the card the first time. That must be two the second time around. So this time, the father messed with evidence, and now the daughter messed with evidence. Oh wow, it's a perfect family tree. Perfect family bonding times. Witness, you didn't kill anyone. Not Miss Porter, nor Mr. Black, not anyone. This needs to stop right now. Tell us the truth. Stop? Stop what? Why should I stop when it's so clearly, obviously clear who the murderer is? That's me, worm. I'm guilty. Look at how guilty I am. Well, I'll eat some dirt with the very second you actually say a lick of sense. You ready to lock me away forever yesterday, weren't you? I didn't know then what I know now. But you didn't stab Miss Porter. You didn't do it. So I won't let you be arrested for it, no matter how much you want it. How endearing. An attorney only wants the truth. Dang, you, Phoenix, you're trying to make sure she doesn't want to get her dream of being locked away in prison? Like, for shame, let her live out her dream. She wants to be locked up for a serial killer crime. Obviously, just let her have that dream. I'd laugh if it wasn't just so cliche. The evidence points to me, doesn't it? Maybe I should just have you look one more time to see how truly guilty I truly am. You like repeating your words. I say that, but I like repeating myself all the time. The bloody knife covered in blood. Finally, we're moving on. Okay, I was stuck on that thing for a while. I used the knife to kill Miss Porter. I broke into her office and killed her. She tried to escape, but died instead. I tried hiding the knife in my house later, but Tracy Wright found it. There's more information this time, and it might be just enough. I actually have details of the crime. I can work with that. This is where Jane has been leading us. Why? I guess we're about to find out. So she wants to point out she has a sort of connection to show the killer, points out that she hid the knife in the cabinet with the card, and now she's going more in depth to the crime. I guess now we maybe can bring out the whole fact that the killer had no fingerprints then? I used the knife to kill Miss Porter. Wouldn't hurt her to press things though. The knife has her blood. It seems to be the murder weapon. Yes, and you found it at my home. It all makes sense now, right? After how Mr. Hood tried so hard to protect me. I had to go and get caught for a whole new murder and spoil everything. I'm awful like that, aren't I? Ruining everything for everyone. Dang it, ruined the fun for mystery solvers. Hood didn't even seem to think so. No matter what, Jane had access to the knife, so she's involved somehow. I mean, she had access to another type of weapon. A broken bottle. If Hood's story about seeing her with the killer is right, then it might make sense. I broke into her office and killed her. How'd you break in? How? What a silly question. Were you trying to slip me up? There would only be two ways, wouldn't there? Two ways to enter the room. I could either go through the door, or a window if she had one. If she had one. You're hoping to say I would say the wrong answer and get some sort of lead out of that? Which was it? Let's say I say the true answer, then you have nothing. Let's say I answer falsely. Then I have a contradiction, but where does it lead? Nowhere. That's your result, worm. It leads nowhere. You still have nothing. Oops. Sorry, I guess I lied about the means of entry, but you caught me at least. Either way, I'd like for you to answer the question. Yes, witness. Please give him a straight response. The window. It was the window. I entered and exited through the window, so she wasn't found until the next day. Well, I was right. The killer did come in through there. Maybe that really was just a dead end for me. She tried to escape, but died instead. Did you fight back? Did you struggle? When she saw me, she attempted to escape. Unfortunately for her, she did not. I thrust the knife into her and ended her life. As you can see, I was unharmed. She did not dare touch me. You've seen the murder scene for yourself, right? You should know whether or not our struggle took place. I was testing to see Jane did too, but looks like she won't tell me much. Wasn't there actually a struggle though? Like literally through all this, hon. I mean, look, there was like there's a box pulled over, there's paper strewn across. Yeah. I mean, there was a struggle. Yeah. I tried to hide the knife in my house later, but Wright found it. Along with the whole rest of your merry little serial killer collection. The expo's not in town anymore, sorry to say. You tried to kill my daughter, and you used that same knife to do it. Oh my. Did I? Why on earth would I do that? Phoenix, we keep going over this again, okay? She was not threatening Trucy. She was just very slowly approaching your daughter with a knife in hand, with her eyes closed, just trying to show off the bloody knife to her. God, there's a big golly old difference, okay? Oh wait, of course! How could I be so silly? Obviously it's because I'm the killer who killed Miss Porter. I swear some of these times it's slowly gonna turn into a tongue twister. I saw Trucy prying through evidence which would convict me and defend myself. That's just what she told me there. She told me she killed Miss Porter and was gonna kill me. There. Isn't that wonderful? You have an eyewitness standing over there. The detective heard it too, and everybody heard it. I'm so sloppy, I guess. I've left so many witnesses. Very sloppy of me. Bad, Jane. Very bad. Very sloppy, no doubt. She's still being vague, but it's progress at least. It's hard to get anything meaningful out of her. She really wants me to only ask specific questions. Like father, like daughter, huh? Like father, like daughter. Don't look so glum. It's not always a bad thing. Well, not always, but Hood wanted to protect Jane. Maybe in some twisted way that's what she's doing too. Using it to kill Miss Porter. So the best way to do this is like going through the office then. You went through the window, right? But there's no fingerprints, and your fingerprints yet are on the knife. Yeah, finally. It was a small office, so there were only so many ways you can get in. We know the killer came in through her window, and you said you did the same. But there's one big problem with that. And what might that be? You, Jane. Your existence is a lie. There isn't a single one of your fingerprints in the room. If they'd been anywhere, they would have been on the windowsill, but they're missing. You were never in that room, were you? Isn't there a simple answer for that? Easy. I just used gloves. Any killer would use gloves. Not this one. Not you. You didn't use gloves to commit the murder. Just presented again. Miss Porter's office was broken in through the window. There are no fingerprints, and the killer wasn't wearing gloves. How we, golly gee willikers, yeah. Wait, what? How was that not it? Oh, we have to use the present a knife, even though it literally just says right there. That's stupid. Oh my god. We're not gonna say the knife because literally we saw her like with, you know, hold the knife with the fingerprints on it. That doesn't matter. That honestly does not matter here. Literally Tracy saw her without gloves on hold a knife. Of course her fingerprints are on it. That's, The murder weapon has your prints. I mean, after the fact, really. The knife, but nothing else in the room. Call me crazy. You are crazy. But it's almost as if you didn't hold the knife until after the murder. You're wrong. My prints are on the knife because I used it to attack the girl. I wasn't wearing gloves then, but I didn't kill Miss Porter. Yeah, she literally immediately contradicted yourself, Phoenix. Like, literally. Even I knew this was gonna happen. That doesn't work either. You see, there was something really odd about the crime scene. No, pal. There aren't any fingerprints at all, and no glove prints either. Literally, I could have just presented the office again, and no, this would... It still makes sense. Nothing's even been wiped off, pal. There was some oily residue from a person's palm, but we don't keep records of that. The killer wasn't wearing gloves. I can just insert a joke right here, but nah. That doesn't make sense. No gloves or prints. If I did use gloves, I would leave prints. Where are my prints? That's the thing, you didn't. With or without the gloves, you would have left a mark in that room, but you didn't. We know from the knife what your fingerprints look like, but you didn't leave any. The person who stabbed Miss Porter didn't have fingerprints at all. No fingerprints? How could you identify them? At the moment, that isn't the issue. Don't worry about that. We'll focus on that later. Right now, we're gonna make sure this little girl gets her high rocker off. Just knock her off her high horse. At the moment, this isn't the issue. Think what this means for the witness. We know they didn't use gloves, and we've seen Jane's prints. It couldn't have been her. Funny man. Someone's called someone else a funny man. My existence has been validated. Mr. Funny Man. Phoenix, you're not funny at all. Gosh dang it. I found someone else who says that. I'm happy. You're funny. I still had a knife in my possession. How else could I have gotten it? You must be involved with a crime in some way. I'm pretty sure I know how. You had a knife, so that makes you the murderer, an accomplice, a witness. My first thought is a witness, because, yeah, like, an accomplice, like, I feel like they made an express point to him, point out, like, there's no fingerprints anywhere, and the door is not busted through, so not an accomplice, and I don't know how far up the window for the, like, we don't even know if, like, the office on the first or second floor of all that, if it was mentioned, it was very, like, passingly. Let's go with witness. You're witness to the crime. Now require her to have been at occult in some form. And I seem to recall you pointing out that she never once entered the office. Yeah, that points it. So, Wright, which is it? Did she or didn't she? She was literally outside the building? Well, I guess if the knife was left around. Literally, the culprit could just like took the knife and just left it outside the building. Well, I guess her prints weren't at the scene. Yeah, I mean, she couldn't get inside anyway, so she can't be the murderer. No, they weren't. There, you answered my question. A bit of consistency from now on will be nice. Yeah, that's coming straight from you then, buddy, old pal. Wow, screw you. Let's not go back down ourselves down there, Phoenix. So, you want us to say accomplice? Okay. You never entered occult. You never stabbed Miss Porter. But you somehow ended up with a knife. So the question is, where did it come from? You must have received it from the true killer. So she literally just witnessed it. And somebody gave a knife to you to hide. That's why your prints are on it, but not the office's window. And that makes you, Jane Hood, the killer's accomplice. Shush, body. Everything you've been saying. Thank you. This girl did not kill Miss Porter. I don't want to hear a single word out of you ever again after this case is done. I don't want to see you ever again. Sadly, it seems the deaths of Mr. Jameson and Black, we have learned nothing. The defendant has not been charged with Miss Porter's. The prosecution doesn't assume all three related? It's possible. The suspect has been in jail the whole time. Yeah, he's completely gone with that. One theory was that he hired a hitman for the final victim, but there is not yet substantial proof. It would have been very difficult contacting anyone on the outside. Unless there's, like, I guess, Rivali's members in the prison staff? I mean, like, I know at one point, like, there was, like, a guard or something who was corrupt and all that. I'm not gonna go into more details about that. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about, then. The witness is merely an accomplice, at most. We must find a relation to the other two crimes. Easy. This isn't the first time Jane has been accomplice to murder. It isn't? No. Jane has also helped the killer cover for Jack Black, oh god, I'm gonna say that again. Hide. M6 is on there. Hold on a second. Small files evidence, messengers, a photo from Jimmy. Where was the card? The card was left at, it was left at the grave, right? Yeah. Black's death. Jane met the man who killed Virgil Black. She spoke with him while he was burying the body, and he let her go. There's your connection. Oh, so she met them there after the murder, and like to keep her own life in check, she decided to help, and then trying to paint herself as a bad guy to actually keep herself safe. That's actually kind of that's actually really smart. Wow. Mr. Black? How do we know that? I mean, it is also like a person from the Mafia, which this whole game is literally centered around the Mafia, then of course it would make even more sense to be smart about this. It's so good. It's a good plan. Fig and Hood saw a man and a young woman together. Rather, he mostly just heard them. He left his house after Jane went missing and searched the forest for her. Then he found her speaking with a strange man, who he later assumed she'd killed. That man wasn't the victim. He was Mr. Black's murderer. Both Mr. Hood and his daughter then kept silent about it until Mr. Jameson was found. I stumbled upon a stranger bearing a body. Why would he let me go? You struck up a good hard bargain, right? I mean, you had some bottles on hand. Had to get them drunk on grape juice. Nothing else. Nothing else. I don't think a killer would kill someone he knew that he killed. You're a good actor. I can tell just that by watching you. And you're smart too. You found a way to convince him that you could be useful. Maybe that you'd be able to cover up and help him any future murders. That's why he left a knife with you. This man thought he could trust you to get rid of it. Mr. Black's killer also murdered Gladys Porter. It's a good thread line, actually. Porter? What her events? Can defense prove this? If Jane helped with either murder, then I know she can. Witness, you should be able to describe who you met. Obviously, I'll say you're right, no matter what. If it's true, I'll admit it. If it's not, wouldn't I say it is to make myself look good? You know I am involved with at least 2 of the crimes. Isn't it possible I simply killed everybody? Everybody? That would be a reasonable idea to consider. You should consider it. No, you have an alibi based on, your dad's own words. I stabbed and throttled Guildenstern. Mr. Hood found out and made up a story about seeing some other man to protect me. Later, Rosencrantz, Jameson, figured it out. So I killed him and hired someone to kill Porter when I figured out they were working together. That's why I'm lying. That's why I'm so suspicious. It's because I'm guilty. You didn't kill anybody. Sad. The first 2 victims we know had the same killer. So if you didn't kill one of them, you didn't kill the other. As it happens, Jane, this proves you didn't kill one man. You have an alibi. Getting drunk and cleaning up your own mess. You and your father had quite a disagreement over Mr. Black. In it, his hand got cut. It's been bandaged for a few days. It was cut the night of Mr. James's murder. Jane Hood, you have an alibi for Jimmy, so you didn't kill him. And therefore, you didn't kill Mr. Black either. Thank you. Thank you? Like, she had a fun time and all this. She accomplished her dream of lying to an entire courtroom. That's another one on the bucket list crossed off. Thank you. Thank you for proving I didn't kill anyone. You were so certain I killed someone when Mr. Hood was here yesterday. He told me. The man gave me the knife. I knew how to find some way to save myself. I was Mr. Wright's prime suspect. He thought I was the big bad killer. If I didn't act, I'd be arrested. So... You got yourself arrested? Honestly, I already mentioned before, this is an amazing plan. It worked, didn't it? I told you I don't make mistakes. So I played along with you. I got your attention. Just enough to make you question your assumptions about me. You knew it was too simple for me to be the true culprit. With 3 murders, it would have had to be 2 more complex. If I told you I was innocent, you never would have believed me, would you? Not that you would have taken my case anyway. This way, I both threw the blame on the killer, releasing me from him, and I got defense attorney without ever paying him a dime. Is it any wonder why I love these 2 characters of the highlight, and it's making me warm up to this game more just because they exist. You can't warm your way out of this one, Phoenix. As you mentioned before, you're a worm. Hey, that's not fair. Not fair, Mr. Wright. Neither would have been the atrociously high legal fees you'd charge me. You tried to kill me. Oh, please, I meant to kill you. I'd have done so before you had a chance to scream. I had every opportunity to just sneak up behind you and get you from behind, but... Oh, wow, I didn't. Why do you think I spent so much time explaining myself? I just need to buy enough time for the idiot detective to show up and arrest me. Or, did you really think you were going to die? It sure seemed like at the time. Good. I haven't lost my touch? That's good. See, I was telling the truth at the very start. You can trust me, everyone. You can completely trust me. Okay. You could have explained to me what really happened. Yeah, after all this, no. Why should I trust you? I had to work to save myself. There's nothing wrong with that. You keep saying the phrase, save yourself. Is there a reason for that? I saw Mr. Black being buried. I convinced the killer to keep me around to help him in the future. But I didn't know what that would mean. He could use me for anything. Or maybe he killed me to keep me from talking. Anything could go wrong. I couldn't do anything to upset him, but I didn't know what would upset him. That kind of paranoia isn't healthy. So when Rosecrans died, Mr. Hood and I saw our chance. We suddenly pointed the police to the killer and free ourselves from his grasp. And who was this murder you saw? I'm glad you asked. I don't know. Oh boy. The killer connection. You're gonna explain about how you know she's the killer, but since he's out of the country, and you definitely lied about that, and we're just playing up the whole killer connection just to make sure that we actually get you off the hook indirectly. Yeah, like, honestly, like, oh, God. I'll leave this off here, and we'll go into this testimony for next time. Like, God, like, honestly, Jeezums. I love these 2 characters. They're great. They're great. They're great. Okay? And also way more entertaining and way more fun. And actually, like, even though you can definitely say they have some bad morals even then, they definitely are a bit more, better morals than so far of I guess Obadiah, even though he does have his good morals as well, but I'm lying and trying to get Phoenix to go against one of their closest relatives and friends, like, you know, for like over a decade, just to prove your own point about oh, I want to make sure you're a good man, then Phoenix, then yeah, no, screw him. You know what? No, fuck him. I already said that before, and I'm gonna say it again now. Like, and compared to for me, compared to Obadiah, literally Finnegan and Jane Hood are saints compared to him. Oh, that's just me. I already know that's just me. I know there's some people who like definitely think he was definitely in the right or do something like that, but like still, it literally just depends. Like, I already know for one thing, I hate manipulations. I hate manipulation tactics, but the very second I can like pinpoint or like have a good intuition of why the manipulation is happening in the first place, then I'm completely fine with it. It's a case-by-case basis. The very second I can glean or anything like that about what exactly a true intention is, and it's like something that just, if it's someone close to me personally, I was in a situation, and For example, I probably would just let them go if if they need the help. If it was something that bad and I also hate the other guy, I would just do that, just stick to that person. I'm that kind of person. At least I feel like that anyway. Well, I say that, but I'm probably in the moment I'll just be freezing up. That'd probably be it. That'd be the real honest thing here to say, right? Right. All I'm gonna say is that's how I feel like I would do. Doesn't amount for much until the moment, will it? It never will. Until the actual extremes happen. Oh boy. And we already saw like how literally Jane is fearing in the most extreme circumstances as well. And she handled everything very, and I mean very tactfully. And I could not like her or love her or just enjoy her character any much more. And we will see how much more she will say and increase that like for next time. So, for fun time watches I am playing as. Hope you see me next time. What time may be. And I hope you fantastic day.